What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. If you don't know who I am, that means you're new. I'm Mark. What's good with y'all? Go check out my other videos. Check them out. Check them out. But first, stay on this one. Now, before we continue, I will say, periodically, you will see me checking the microphone just to make sure that it hasn't died. I have not charged it in a bit, and I don't want it to die. But you guys read the title. You saw the thumbnail. There's no beating around the bush. Core Elite Operations, PC-9, 1,000 round update. So, after 1,000 rounds, I think I can truly give my 100% fair, non-biased opinion. And the reason why I say non-biased is because after 1,000 rounds, I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly with this gun. This firearm itself, in case you guys haven't seen my 500 round review, actually has over 20,000 rounds put into it. Now I can say over 21,000 rounds put into it, including the ammo I've shot through it myself. This gun is a beast, guys. This gun is an absolute beast. The PC-9 is just no joke. Yes, it's an AR. Yes, it's chambered in 9mm. Don't get me wrong. There are a lot of ARs chambered in 9mm out there. However, what I can say about this one that you can't say about the majority of the others is that this one is built to last. After 21,000 rounds, the fact that it's not malfunctioning almost every other round is insane. But, I mean, upgraded charging handle, upgraded bolt, trigger, phenomenal. Phenomenal trigger. But after 1,000 rounds, I can actually really say this gun is phenomenal. Even for the price point that it's at, phenomenal. I'm sorry, but there's no other way to say it. So we got to talk about it for a little bit. Of course, being chambered in 9mm, yes, they do, if I'm not mistaken, they do have options chambered in either 40 or 45. I can't remember which. But regardless of the matter, chambered in 9mm does take Glock mags, which is the most available magazine on the market. I mean, I don't think you guys can really go wrong with this gun. 5.5-inch barrel, very soft shooting, like extremely soft shooting. Like when I say soft shooting, I mean you can mag dump this thing, just straight mag dump it into an actual target, a circular target, not a silhouette, not an IPSC, but like an actual circular target. And unless you're sitting there just throwing your shots, you will hit every single round on that target. It's absolutely insane. I mean, the gun is just overall great. But we have to talk about malfunctions. So when I say this gun has had little to no malfunctions, here's what I mean. Yes, it has had some double feeds, which you will actually see when I show you the mag dump videos. But those double feeds were 2 live rounds. So speaking with my gunsmith, I'm like, hey, is this more an issue on the gun or is it more of an issue on the magazine? He goes, well, 2 live rounds, that tells me that the magazine is pushing 2 up when it shouldn't be. So that's more of an issue on the magazine than the gun itself. So I can say that outside of the double feeds that it's had, it's been a really reliable gun, guys. I mean, after 1,000 rounds, keep in mind we're talking some flood ammo, we're talking clean ammo, we're talking FMJs, hollow points, we're talking steel case. It literally anything you put into this gun, it will pretty much eat up and send out perfectly fine. Now, I can sit here and talk about it all day and night, how much I like the gun, how reliable the gun is, how great the gun is, or I can just sit here and show you guys how well it shoots. So here's some slow shooting. Now, before I show you guys the mag dumps, because I was able to get a few mag dumps in there, you will notice that the second and third one, there either looks to be a part of it that was cut out or edited. Yeah, that was me clearing the malfunctions that it had. It again, it had some double feeds. Regardless of that, here are some mag dumps. We got Mozambiques. We got Bill drills. So when I tell you guys, shooting this gun and doing a review on it has been an absolute joy. I'm pretty sure you guys can understand why that is. But I can sit here and talk about how great it shoots. I can show you guys how great it shoots. But has my opinions changed at all? Or have my opinions changed at all in regards to the 4 self-defense situations with the Core Elite Operations PC-9? So, for starters, let's go over home defense. Now, I will say I do not remember what the previous scores were, so if they do match up, by all means, somebody comment, let me know. Home defense, I'm going to be honest, I think you got like a 9.5 out of 10 here. And I'm going to give you the reasons why that is. So, obviously, you're able to attach light on here, dots, whatever you need on here, you can attach. That's not an issue. Let's see here. Very easy to shoot. When I say very easy to shoot, I mean very user-friendly. I don't just mean that it's soft shooting, which it is. Don't get me wrong, but I'll talk about that in a second. When I say it's user-friendly, I mean we have an ambi safety. So I mean, you guys can see we have ambi safety. We have a nice big mag release button. It's very easy to operate overall, especially for those who are pretty new to shooting, or even if you're not new to shooting, if you're just looking for something easy to operate, this is pretty much your best bet. Again, shoots 9mm, so it is very soft shooting, as I said before, and it takes Glock mags, guys. I'm sorry, but you could literally throw a rock anywhere in the country and find a Glock mag. That's how mass-produced and how common they are. Same thing almost for the 9mm round. Almost, but not exactly. Now, with how easy it is to shoot, how easy it is to maneuver around corners, how light it is too, I mean, like, it's not heavy at all. I really could say that you get a 9.5 out of 10 here for home defense, because you definitely can protect your home with 9mm. We know that. 5.5-inch barrel, so it's very easily maneuverable. User friendly. Again, takes Glock mags. I mean, nothing about this gun is is going to be bad for home defense by any standard, to say the least. So if the number was 9.5 for the 500 round review, cool. It matched up. It hasn't changed at all. Moving on, though, from home defense, concealed carry. Yeah, I'm aware that this, obviously is a good bit smaller than, we'll say, the Battle Series 15 from Core Elite Operations. However, I can also say, though, that even if you have the brace all the way in, the chances of you taking this with you anywhere outside of your home environment, that's not happening. So I don't think we can really run that through this event, as it's not applicable. Moving on, though, from concealed carry to an SHTF situation. Now, in an SHTF situation, let's be reminded, guys, we have to talk about a few different things. We have to talk about reliability. We have to talk about durability. We have to talk about parts availability. We have to talk about magazine availability. We have to talk about ammunition availability. And the PC-9 almost checks off every single item on that list. Now, when I say almost, hear me out. Glock mags, extremely available. The most mass-produced mag out there. 9mm, while not being the most mass-produced round out there, still extremely mass-produced. Not to the scale of 22, for example, of course, but I think we got a pretty close runner-up with 9mm. Magazine availability, parts availability. Parts availability is kind of iffy in this case because, yes, it is an AR, but it is a 9mm AR. So it's not going to be as easy to find parts for it as you would your typical AR-15 from any brand, really. But when it comes to reliability and durability, I mean, again, over 20,000 rounds in this gun total. I don't know what else you could want. If that doesn't scream reliable, I don't know what's going to. You know what I mean? What would I give it in an SHTF situation? In this event, just because of the fact that 9mm takes Glock mags, extremely reliable and extremely durable, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I think the only thing that's really holding this gun back from honestly being a 10 out of 10, and yes, just this simple thing would absolutely jump it up to a perfect 10 out of 10. I think the two things that are going against it in this case is the fact that 9mm AR parts, while still pretty available, aren't exactly the most common. Now, does that mean you're not going to find any of the parts needed? No, not necessarily. However, it is going to be a bit more difficult for you. And then the next objective that I have against this gun for an SHTF gun is going to be the distance that the round can travel. Of course, we know a 9mm is not going to go anywhere near the distance that, say, a 5.56 would, or even if you want to go higher, a 308. My point, though, being, other than those two things, this gun would be a perfect 10 out of 10 in an SHTF situation. Now, I understand this is subjective. That's my personal opinion. Go ahead and comment your thoughts down below, whether you agree or disagree with me on that. Moving on, though, from an SHTF situation, we have to talk about animal defense. I know some people are like, why do you have to talk about animal defense? Well, honestly, it was a viewer recommended category to add into the self-defense situations. Because why? Unfortunately, animals are out to get you every now and then. So, what would I rate the Core Elite Operations PC-9 in regards to animal defense? It depends what kind of animal that you're trying to protect yourself from. I mean, if we're talking small animals, yeah, I think you will be more than just fine with the Core Elite Operations PC-9. However, though, if we're talking really anything too much larger, again, it does depend on what you're classifying as a medium-sized animal in this case. I don't think with medium-sized animals that the Core Elite Operations PC-9 would really be too much of use. Now, do I think that that could change if it was chambered in something like 40, 45, 10 mil, whatever? Sure. Maybe not 45 so much because 9mm and 45 perform around the same nowadays. But regardless, though, do I think that would change if it was chambered in a different caliber? Maybe. It just depends. But I will also say, though, that it doesn't really matter if it's chambered in a very, very different caliber. Unless we're talking 10 mil or above, it's not going to change what it can or can't stop. Now, that is just my personal opinion. I'm aware some people are going to disagree with me on it. However, this is my video and my channel. I'm just messing with you guys. But overall, what would I have to give it for an animal defense situation? I think I'm going to give it a 7.5. And the reason why I say 7.5 in this case is because, again, it can stop all small animals. It can stop a good amount of medium-sized animals, depending on what you're classifying as medium-sized. Large animals, though, definitely out of the question, to say the least. But I think you guys also knew that. I mean, it is chambered in 9mm. So, all in all, we got a 9.5, we got an 8, and a 7.5. Altogether, a 25 out of 30. That's not bad at all. I'm just here to tell you guys that's pretty good as far as I'm concerned. That's a little over 80% while still being under 90%. That's a pretty good rating considering it is a 5.5-inch AR chambered in 9mm, guys. But with that being said, I do think that about wraps it up for this video. If you do want to check out the Core Elite Operations PC-9 rental, by all means, stop by All American Gunslingers. You will be able to check it out yourself. But with that being said, y'all make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that bell. When you hit that bell, hit all in. Whether or not you agree with me about my thoughts on the Core Elite Operations PC-9 after my 1,000-round update, I mean, I don't know, guys. I think I can say, really, this might be my favorite, I guess we'll say, pistol caliber carbine, even though technically this is considered a pistol. But go ahead and comment your thoughts down below, whether or not you agree with me, whether or not you disagree with me, whether or not you want one, whether or not you hate them. Go ahead and comment down below. Make sure to check out all my other videos. Y'all make sure to stay legal, stay safe, stay dangerous. Have a good one, y'all. Peace.